Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby Beyond Forever Sport for today's preview. Springboks versus England, a repeat of the 2019 final. The grudge match really of the weekend, the second semi-final. By the time they walk out to the pitch at Stade de France, they will know who either of them will face in the final, with New Zealand versus Argentina taking place tonight as the All Blacks look to try and get past Los Pumas into that final, put themselves into contention to win the World Cup, whilst Michael Cheika and Julia Montoya and their side believe they can do something special, that they can knock New Zealand out of the World Cup, get themselves into a World Cup final, and then who knows. And to be honest, there was one team apart from South Africa who I'd love to see win a World Cup right now, it would be Argentina. It would be absolutely phenomenal if they were to win it, but can't need the Springboks to win it, don't we? And the first thing they need to do is get past England, which is not going to be an easy task, or as easy as a task as I think a lot of people are suggesting. So before we look at the two sides, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Very, very interesting because South Africa are unchanged. No changes to 23, no rotation from starting to bench, no positional swaps, for example. Absolutely nothing. It is all exactly the same as it was last week. So if we look at the lineup, it is Stephen Kitsov, Bongi Mbambi, and France Maherba. So impressive, Bongi Mbambi last week. He's really, since the injury to Malcolm Marx, he's put his hand up and he's reminded everybody just how good he is and why he is top dog. His leadership for me has been phenomenal. He's really embraced that role he's been given, and I personally think he's almost putting himself into the hat to potentially replace Siya Kolisi as captain if Siya Kolisi does step down or finish his international career after this World Cup. In the second row, Eben Etzebeth and Franco Moss will continue their partnership. Then Siya Kolisi next to PSJF, Toya, and Dwayne Vermeulen. It's a World Cup winning loose trio. It's one of the most capped loose trios of all time for South Africa. I think they need 2 more games together, and they would be the most capped trio. Unfortunately, they've got a maximum of 2 games together, so we won't likely not break the record. But what a formidable loose trio they have been. Kuba's runner gets backed again next to Moy who will start a semi-final. Started a quarterfinal last week, played well, gets another start in the semi-finals. Your 2 wings are Chesney Colby, Currie Lawrence, both on the score sheet last week, as was Damien Delendi, who really put a lot of doubters wrong. And what a storming performance we saw last week from Jesse Creel. He gets rewarded with another start. Damian Willemse, world class. Being one of our best players in the tournament, continues in that 15 jumper. Off the bench, it will be Dion Fourie, Ox in chair, Vincent Koch, R.K. Snyman, Quagga Smith, Faf de Klerk, Andre Pollard, and Willie Leroux. It's a good bench. It's got World Cup winners everywhere. In fact, the only person that's not a World Cup winner is Dion Fourie and Ox in chair. So, yeah, plenty of experience across the entire pack. I mean, it's the most experienced pack the Boks have ever named, and one of the most experienced 23s we've ever named, because it was the case last week, therefore will be the case this week. So it's got everything you need in it, really. Not too much to really break down when it comes to the Boks, except for the fact that can this team beat it? It is England, the 2019 finalists, who will be up for a bit of revenge. A lot of players in this lineup that did play in that 2019 final, that lost that 2019 final, that will be coming to try and prove a point. No more so than the front row of Joe Marler, Jamie George, and Dan Kolb. So much experience between those 3. Needs to be rock solid at scrum time. And then an interesting change sees George Martin comes into the starting lineup. There's Tamari Toja, Courtney Laws. They'll be looking to make those lineouts a bit of a hazard for South Africa and to really dominate them from an English perspective. And I tell you what, you neutralize set pieces, you get your set piece right, it goes a long way towards nullifying what other teams can do. So I think that's going to be an important part. Front row, the tight 5, and the lineouts. And then they've got a good loose trio. Ben Earl, I thought, was fantastic last weekend. Courtney Laws is a great player. Tom Currie is really good on his day. And then a halfback pair, Alex Mitchell next to Owen Farrell. I don't think Alex Mitchell had his best game last weekend. I thought Owen Farrell was really good and looked close to his best. The 2 wings, Elliot Daly, Johnny May. The South Africans will know a lot about them, to be fair. In the centres, Mario Tuolagi, the hard-hitting Mario Tuolagi, and Joe Marchant. Freddie Stewart comes into the side for the concussed Marcus Smith, who is obviously going through return to play protocols and will not be available for this weekend. Then off the bench, it is Theo Dan, it is Genge and Carl Sinclair. Interesting to see Genge drop down to the bench, coming on as an impact player. And they've got then Ollie Chessum on the bench as well as Billy Vanapola. And then the replacement backs are Danny Kerr, George Ford, and Ollie Lawrence. I'll be very interested to see what sort of role George Ford gets this weekend. Didn't really play. In fact, I'm not even sure if he got on last weekend because Owen Farrell was just playing so well. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of role George Ford will get. He did start the final in 2019 with Owen Farrell inside him, inside centre. So yeah, it was an interesting. It's been an interesting debacle, this whole George Ford versus Owen Farrell situation. I was very surprised when Owen Farrell was picked ahead of George Ford, but give Owen Farrell's credit where credit's due, played really well. It's two very good sides. It's England who are playing good rugby at the moment. You know, they're not the England that lost to Fiji in August. They have progressed, and they're going to be a tough side. If they can just get the basics right and frustrate the Boks, they can contend. If the Boks, however, start really well, and I think running in 1 or 2 tries, I don't think this England team have got the mentality to be able to cope with that, to be able to turn things around. So from a South African perspective, I think it's very important that we start well, we hit the ground running, and we give them a real go. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.